is a freaking animal. Are you kidding me?
Oh, buddy.
You better get ready.
Minnesota. It's how it begins. How about one towel?
In August 2018, my good friend Rob and I set out on a journey to retrieve an old red truck I found for sale in a magazine.
We're gonna land like over here, and then we're gonna drive across the border to like somewhere in here.
Yeah. I'm about to meet some characters out there.
What are they home of? The biggest, what kind of chicken?
The largest prairie chicken.
The truck was in a small town in western Minnesota. We were to fly to Fargo, rent a car, pick the truck up, drop the rental off, and then drive back in the truck. What ended up happening was, well, a debacle.
This whole fiasco wasn't enough.
Here we are in Chicago.
We're in Chicago in a Hyundai Elantra,
Getting a rental
and it's
car.
pouring out. Now we have to go pick up Robbie's bag from baggage claim,
Yo.
which probably won't be there.
Probably not going to be ready.
We were supposed to have the truck by now. We got the bag.
Wow. This is sweat, not rain.
Let's get some food.
Let's get some grub.
Really coming down?
We had a layover in Chicago and ended up missing our second flight, so we decided we would drive the rest of the way. It was about a 9-hour trip from Chicago to western Minnesota, maybe even longer with stops, and we were set to get there by a little before midnight. I talked to the owner and asked if he wanted to wait till morning, but he said he was fine with waiting up for us. So there we were in our little Hyundai on the open road, and already the adventure had veered from the plan. If only we knew what we were in for.
Oh my God.
Mother. It's a stallion. That thing's gonna make the trip. The only connector would have got us here at 12:30 at night. It was this whole fiasco. We did not plan to drive 500 miles, whatever, but
It's an extra 600 miles to our...
it's been a heck of a journey.
The truck was beautiful, nearly identical to the old red one I had sold earlier that year. This was a 1965 F100 with an 8-cylinder engine, and it seemed to be in decent shape. Good tires and not too much rust. So we took it for a midnight spin on those dusty old roads.
Are you kidding me? Such a beast. It is drifty. It sounds insane.
It's really good.
Oh my God.
It just need to be driven.
This is unreal. This is unreal. We're in Minnesota in a 65 Ford pickup that is going to be a very interesting drive. Holy smokes.
The truck was $2,500, and I had already sent a deposit of $750 a few weeks earlier, which had cleared. I talked to the owner so many times that it felt like we were friends. He said the truck was clean and running good, so I figured we'd test drive it, give him the rest of the payment, and be on our way. But right away on our test drive, we smelled gas, and I knew that there was more than meets the eye to this truck. But at this point, I just wanted to finish the deal, and if we broke down and had to tow it, we'd deal with it when it happened. But when I went to give him the second check, a strange energy filled the air. He got standoffish and extremely upset. He wanted cash only, even though he never once said to bring cash. We tried to talk about it calmly, and before we knew it, he stormed inside and slammed the door on us.
So, I've been talking on the phone for 2 or 3 weeks now, trying to organize getting this truck. I just drove 9 hours and got here, and he freaked out because I didn't have cash, and freaked out and was very weird and not nice. And I have a strange feeling. I don't think the truck would make the drive home anyway. It's really cool, it's a sweet truck, but I don't know, there's some things he didn't mention that are going on with it. Overall, I have a really weird feeling, and this sucks, but we're trying to figure out what the silver lining is, because this whole trip could end up being a bust, but maybe there'll be another pickup for sale somewhere else, but this is weird. I don't know.
As a man of hospitality and business, that was just an extremely sour taste. He insisted that we had cash, and then yelled at us. It's a beautiful truck. There are a couple of issues. I just think he wants to sell it. And that's it. I don't think he cares that we came out to make this like kind of special, you know? Just leaves a sour taste in my mouth. That's not how you treat a guest. But I think we should sleep on it. It's 40 minutes from town.
We only had a few days to get the truck and drive home, as I had a huge shoot the following weekend, so there wasn't much room for error. We were going to sleep on what happened and talk to him in the morning.
It's freezing. It smells like cigarettes.
Well, we'll see how the morning goes. And so we drove there in the morning to talk it out, and he wasn't there. I called him, and he said he was out of state at a tractor convention for 3 days. Pretty convenient timing. He hung up on me multiple times and told me I wasn't getting my deposit back. It was infuriating, and it hurt my heart to be in this situation. I really felt helpless.
And then I get a text from Johnny, the guy I record music with in Minnesota. And he's like, yo, are you in Minnesota? And I was like, yeah, and I called him, and he's very good at reasoning and like figuring things out. So I called him, and he was just like, we're gonna work this out, KFD. And he's like, I've got, you know, if you have to drive a rental back instead, I've got a Toyota Camry I just bought off my neighbor for $500. I'll give it to you for $300, and you can drive that back. Hit a Monarch Butterfly. Yeah, this is how this day is going. So now we're just driving to Minneapolis. We're supposed to drop the rental car off in Fargo. We're gonna drop it off at the Minneapolis airport. I'm gonna have to have Johnny come pick us up, and then we're probably gonna just like cool out for the night. Him and Robbie will probably cook a great meal. We'll eat, and then we'll take his Camry back home and drive all day Wednesday, all day Thursday, and we'll get home on Friday. And then I'll have a Camry. I think it's in pretty good shape, to be honest. Like, I'm sure it's gonna last forever. I don't know. It's not meant to be. I want a baby blue one anyway. I really want a baby blue one.
If you've seen my videos from early 2020, you know Dark Pony and Mama T. He's a music producer and she's an esthetician, and they're both like family to me. Dark Pony had called me on a whim around midnight, just minutes after the situation blew up. Divine timing. He asked if I was in Minnesota, and I told him what had happened, and he said that we could head his way and figure it out from there if we needed to. So after we hit a dead end with the owner that morning, we headed towards the city.
Oh, we got rims on this side.
Hey, we got hubcaps.
So we got acquainted with the Camry that was going to take us home, and it was in pretty good shape. It was a cool road trip car. It's not what we set out to bring home, but this is where the flow took us. It always makes my heart happy to be at Dark Pony and Mama T's. They've got a little suburban paradise. We were about 24 hours from home in total and had to get going the next day. So we told them the story of what happened and then went out to our favorite sushi joint and fully recharged our souls.
Is it dying because it's pickled? This up.
Oh, what a place.
Hey guys,
What's up, guy?
there's a couple empty bottles up here. There's a couple sips, so if you want them, you know.
I'll come up.
We're still living by a string of hope, but the hope is on the ground. You know
Well,
what I'm saying?
yeah, oh yeah.
It was really good to meet you.
You as
You're a
well.
lovely human.
Travel safely,
Yeah, I will.
I'm
You
sure your
done?
ride
Well,
is
I
not
might see
very
you in the
long.
morning. I might come back. Good to
All
see
right.
you.
Yeah, good to
If
see
you
you
guys
too.
choose to stay for some odd reason
When-
in the city, you guys can stay with me. If you need a place, I know they've got company.
10:42.
I get it.
Floor's wet, Kyle. I think it's feeling better up here with those bottles.
Just, you know, a little bit of cleansing.
This is not something I feel comfortable.
Get off of this at the same time.
This is unbelievable. Was this for you or was this for them? This is for the kids, but it was turned out for us.
We've been the ones using it.
I mean, this is. You make it for the kids,
And then
you find the child within yourself. This is it. Look at this. We only got 2 cushions.
Kyle and Mike will sleep.
What do you think, Kyle? Would you? How would you set this up so it's like?
You know, there's some blues band and like some guy from St. Louis ate Taco Bell the night before, Qdoba the next day. This guy's ready to go. Does that promote good tree houses?
I don't know.
I don't think so. That tree has
Kick that's kicked the curb, dude. So I want to make a totem out of the pole of that, and then a bar down there that's kind of a hang, and then 2
Who's this
people.
guy?
Yeah, that dude. We should paint him again. You know, let's give him some
A little
fresh
touch up?
colors. What do you
Yeah.
think? Fresh colors on the guy?
I'd
should
say.
ask him.
He's been around.
Oh my
Oh, man.
god. Just
He
that
told
little
me, he
movement.
told me straight up what's going down. He's like, I want a fresh mushroom. Yeah, both. I want both of those.
I want a fresh,
I want a fresh French dried mushroom. What? And I want Italian boots.
And then it's also could be pop. I don't even know. It could be like, what do you want it to be? You know, Justin Timberlake, Man of the Woods. I was like, no, Man of the Woods is Kyle Finn Dempsey. No, it wasn't. It didn't feel authentic to me. Like, whereas your stuff feels like, oh wait, this is coming out of the woods. It's really authentic, and then it could really go into space too, and like.
So all of this happened around 2 years ago, and Dark Pony and I were just in the beginning stages of talking about my album.
Or a rain shower, or a sun shower, or it's like that's what it should feel. That's what your record should feel like. I think that might be a thing that's could be holding you back from doing it. Like, how do I do this, or how do you release it and play it?
It's just I'm in a different zone right now, I'm in a different stage, and because I want to give my whole heart to it, and I just don't have that right now. I'm focused in a different area. I'm making videos, I'm collecting capital, and I need to be in a different mindset. I don't want to force it. You know?
No, you're making a movie, but then also like.
In the scenario I was just describing, that mindset, it started setting in at the beginning of 2020 when I revisited Dark Pony and Mama T.
Your audiobook, like you could do an audiobook show, like a chapter by chapter.
I'm writing a book. Full scene.
The great unknown is wild. Your
beautiful night with great conversation and great food.
About who you are and what you want to be doing.
And I think that in that
And it's
relationship,
scarier.
that was, I wasn't me in that relationship. I was.
Depict what happened. Like absolutely, you have to look at 100% you, Robbie, your middle name, Paul, Robert Paul. When you do things to either make things look a certain way, this is what a relationship looks like. This is how I'm supposed to be, and then all of a sudden you start seeing that you're not being yourself.
Yeah.
It's like, that's what makes you compromise, that's what makes you contrived, and that's what makes you sabotage this whole thing, because it's like, you're not sabotaging, it's not that complicated. You're actually not happy.
Yeah, I mean, it's not.
Like, you just want to be you all day long.
Yeah.
It's less work.
Yeah.
And
I
when
felt
you
like
go
I couldn't
back-
do that. You know, I couldn't be me the way that she wanted me to be me. It wasn't. I wasn't the me that she wanted. It was like, this is it. Like, I was very forward and upfront all the time. I was like, this is me.
What did you sell her though? What was it
I
that
don't
you
know.
was thinking that you were going to be like all the time, that you didn't feel like that part?
Yeah, because it should just come
Because
natural.
you also probably saw in that mess that there was a lot of reasons why he was probably showing up the way he was. It's two people.
Right.
It's like, you can't, nobody can live within these confines, do you see? Freedom looks like this. Every day I wake up, I take a deep breath in, I'm grateful. I know who I am. I know who I am. I get to show up as that, and somebody's gonna love this.
Right.
Ding, 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 ding. Whether it's the person you work with, like you can kind of, I'm just gonna break down.
Please, yeah.
No more compromising, Rob. No more like.
You just be Rob.
It makes you have to feel like that. But you have to save the day. You need your day saved too. Like
I don't do
you
that
didn't
ever.
get.
I
No,
don't do
you
that
like
ever.
didn't get that from her.
Facilitate. It's going really bad, but I was still like, okay, it's going really bad right now. But like sometimes that's how relationships work. But you're giving up. Like you don't want to work through the really bad to continue to get back to the really good.
It's gonna taste fresh, and
I'm good 10 hard.
Like yesterday.
Couple hard on the tomatoes.
there's gonna be some good flavor flavs, I think.
So right now,
Flavor flaves.
That's where it's at.
I can't live like this.
You're doing a good job.
Like what?
My big old Elvis robe.
That?
Yeah. Give me
An
a
electronic Swiffer at 3 a.m.?
Yeah, no, it's normal.
What the hell are you going on about? Yeah, you listen here, boy.
You listen in, you listen good. God.
I love the light.
Sapporos are huge.
Spores are big beers.
It's a big can.
We had two of them and we had to drink them pretty quick.
Bottle of wine.
No, eh. I always loved this window.
This one?
Yeah, with the big maple right there. It just looks cool. In the morning, the light is always really nice. If you look at it from back here,
Let me see.
I just like this little scene.
Oh, cute.
I've always liked it. I remember having an iPhone shot from the fall that I was like, always really liked.
I can't get over how slippery the floor is. I love it.
So after a long, soulful night, we were feeling nothing but excitement again. Our original plan was gone with the wind, and the adventure had only thickened. Now it was time to pack up this old Camry and head east for good.
All right. She purrs like a kitten.
This is beautiful. No problem.
Give me the blinker left, blinker right. Good, good.
Bye-bye. No, okay. Well, you know. Good to see you.
Did he get the title or not?
I think there is one.
It's insured until October. Is it? Yeah.
Man, were we feeling good. We had been dealt adversity ever since our flights got mixed up, but we were working through it all, rolling with the punches, and we were learning to love our little train wreck adventure.
Okay. Fantastic. It was running so damn good.
We'd gone just over 100 miles when we heard a loud bang in the engine and smoke started pluming from our little Camry.
You see, there's a hole in there.
See that different color?
Yeah.
Like there's clearly...
Huh. I guess it could be yours. True that. We're gonna figure it out.
And so there we were, stranded on the side of the highway waiting for help.
You know, mile marker 75, Wisconsin Eau Claire. We out here.
I've never heard the state first. I like that. Wisconsin Eau Claire.
Yeah, me either. It's French.
She don't wanna be on the road again.
It's like I gave you guys 75 bucks.
See if we can't get under the hood of this thing. Let's take a look under the hood. What do we got here?
Huh. They say you're only supposed to drive this truck on Sundays.
In the end, I owned a Camry for a couple hours, and then a hole burst in the block, and it went to the scrapyard. And we ended up in a Ford pickup after all. In fact, it was all the rental agency had. And it's a good thing I got the insurance on it. So we were finally on our way home, taking shifts driving, and all the while I scoured the internet for every 60s Ford pickup available for sale. I was taking my time and looking for exactly what I wanted. A baby blue one that was in top shape with few problems. After all that had happened, I decided I wasn't going to compromise on my dream truck. One more night at a cheap motel, eating crappy road trip food, talking everything over and laughing it all off. And then the next day at a truck stop in Pennsylvania, Robbie got handwritten directions from a guy telling us the traffic was bad on the highway, but that we could head north and avoid it, and even stop at Lake Erie if we wanted. So we figured, what the heck? Couldn't have asked for a better way to end our final day. The sun was golden and warm, and the waves were roaring.
Oh my God, they really are. That's so nice.
So we made our way down to the beach and washed the debacle away in the waves.
Get a nice skip.
We ended up making it home safe and sound. But we dropped the rental off late, and they were basically closed. There was just one employee, and he said to leave the truck in the employee lot. So we did exactly what he said, and it turns out the rental ended up getting stolen. How's that for a cherry on top? Good thing I got full coverage. And the next day after Rob had left, I found a note on my windshield. I don't want to read the whole thing as it is simply too pure and kind-hearted, but this was the gist of it. Kyle, I cannot thank you enough for the opportunity to join you on your latest adventure. I am fortunate enough to call you one of my best friends. We may not always be together, but when we are, it is always an experience. I appreciate you to no end. Until we see one another again, just roll with the punches. It turns out that this trip was much bigger for both of us than getting a truck. It was the kind of adventure that you don't go looking for, but you don't regret. I couldn't have asked for a better experience with a better friend. Life is always going to put you through the ringer. You can't avoid that. All you can do is learn to roll with it. Wisdom is gained in the challenges and the tribulations, and everything always happens as it should.